Fantastic. That's what I love to do. I love being on the park. I love planning the training sessions. I love getting that interaction with the players. So I'm very, very happy. I'm very enthusiastic. I believe we are receiving the same back from the players. So far, so good.
What have you tried to change, and how are you going about trying to implement your style?
I mean, now the way we see the game, and we see it regarding to behaviors, we are just trying to pass the biggest principles, which are mainly the biggest behaviors in each one of the moments of the game. So we don't have time to that much. And I think it was not a clever step for me in order to change everything in such a few time. So we are going step by step. We talk about them in order specific to combine two moments and being aggressive in those two moments. I'm talking about the offensive organization, so I want a team that needs to be more dynamic. I want to have the ball. Of course, to attack, you need to have the ball. But I need to have one team that build up, prepare, and attack more the spaces than just touch the ball. And especially on the left side, I want one team that is much more aggressive, arriving on the ending position, on the finishing position, as you may call it. After that, I want one team that is always attacking. So we have the ball, we attack opponent's goal. We don't have the ball, we attack the ball again. So that's the combination or the relation between those two moments that I want the team to become aggressive. Okay, of course, we also talk some points about the defensive organization, but I do also think that I take these contents to work along these 4 days, also because of the relation that we analyze on our next opponent. So we believe that this is going the majority of the game, so we need to be prepared for these two moments.
Are you looking to change anything else in the long term, in terms of maybe, say, the food that's served here, the diet, and other things off the field, or?
First of all, you need to assess. I have my ideas, but you need to, I don't need to remind you that we are in a big club. And in a big club, the good attitudes are always present. And if the things are going on the right direction, why are you going to change just for change? So, of course, I tried to implement some things. We tried to get along with all the departments in order first to receive what they are doing, and after we try to match what we want to change. But I need to establish priorities. Priorities now is prepare this match. Maybe next week we'll have more time to prepare the team because it's a break. We are going to have a longer week, which is going to be our first time to work our weekly pattern. And I do believe that the things will come and the behaviors will come just like that. I'm really happy about the players are receiving this change in mentality. Normally when something happens about the change of a coach, we used to say in Portugal that is like some sort of psychological. I call it more change of methods that we are passing here. So that change is going to take time. But the changes we are watching now are going really directly to the attitudes, which I believe normally and generally the British players have that attitude. They are brave. But I want them to have that attitude, being brave, and at the same time having higher decisions, top decisions, with all that pace, with all that rhythm, with all that anger to do the things.
Pedro, what about other changes? Are you changing your goalkeeping coach? There's been a lot of reports. Can you clear up what's going on?
No, I didn't change any goalkeeping coach at all. So I think in the first time we met, I didn't present my coaching staff. And one of the points when I met in the interview with the management, with the board, was not only to present my project, but also to present my coaching staff, okay? And they are with me for a long time. So imagine, if it's difficult to pass the idea to the players, it's also difficult to pass to someone that comes with you. We just spoke about having one assistant coach. So the first thing that I search and I want from my assistants, of course, they need to know me very, very, very well. I take it from Sir Alex Ferguson when I was in Carrington for 3 weeks, I think, in 2007. And I asked him, why do you change along all these years You're assistant coach. And he just told me about one point, loyalty. And I say, okay, one day that I will become manager, I want my guys that be loyal to me. Of course I want. But that's not enough. I want more. I want competence. I want knowledge. I want guys that challenge me. I want guys that like to be challenged. And the third point is about having this, a spirit of mission. Do you know at what time we come here? We arrive at 7 o'clock. Do you know at what time we are leaving? It doesn't matter. But we get out from 7, 8 o'clock. But it's not. This is the spirit of mission. We have a mission to accomplish. We need to do it. And when we came here, I present Elder, wasn't the assistant coach, Pedro, which is the methodologist, and Jose Bellman, the Spanish guy, which is our goalkeeping coach. So we presented like that. I know Jim from the coaches courses. I have all the respect regarding to him, and of course I wish him all the very best. But it was one question of bring my staff to work with me, and nothing about to collide with no one, believe me.
I think you've spoken in the past about wanting someone with local knowledge, of the club or of Scottish football. Are you close to making that happen?
You mean for me to know the reality of football? Inside my staff, you mean? Yes. That's the reason why I asked to have one Scottish assistant. I'm about to assess also that situation. We have a list of candidates. We are going to start the assessment as soon as possible. And of course, we are going to someone that can give me that knowledge. If possible, someone that feel these 3 points as well. And someone maybe that it's really linked with the history and tradition of this club and how big is represent to being in this club. Because as you know, it's not only about inside, it's about inside out as well. So we are still assessing on it.
Have you been able to give all the players a clean slate? Because naturally the previous manager had certain players he would favour more than others. Have you been able to give everyone a fresh start and the chance to impress you and play their way into the team?
I mean, all the players that are completing one squad are players that belong to one squad. So that feeling of belonging is something that they really need to. Do you know which player I was meeting before I came here? Joe Dudu. How many minutes does he have? So I treat all the same. I treat all the same because they are going to deliver me all the same. For me, it's the same. One guy that play 89 minutes, and the other one that gets just for 1 minute. So the other guy just have more time than the other, but in that minute he wants to deliver something. He wants to enjoy. He wants to give you something. So that's what we are trying to do.
In an ideal world, you would come here in the summer, you would have many weeks without games to prepare the players, but now you come straight in and it's pressure immediately to win games. How does that differ when you try to put your ideas across?
First of all, there is no ideal world. Second of all, I think we are winning time. I mean, if it's this a long-term project, if I came in the summer, I was just getting late, okay? And you were knowing the things or you were assessing the things by distance. Okay, now I think you are winning time. And winning time by knowing the club, knowing the players, knowing the management, knowing the competitions, knowing the Scottish culture, traditions, lifestyle, everything. So I think we have more to win coming now, even if we need, of course, to compete. But I think I'm a competitor. I love to compete. So you need to get used, even if you are working with the under 40, you need to compete, you need to win. And definitely I think we are winning time. We are assessing.
You mentioned your list for Scottish coaches. Is Kenny Miller one of the one you consider?
No, actually, on the first day I arrived here, I met with the captains. So I went to Lee. Okay, Lee. So you are the captain. Who's the second captain? So it's Kenny. Only two. What happens if you two out of the game? Who is going to be the captain? Okay, so they bring Andy along with them, and I hold with them a very interesting chat, because I do believe that the captains not only need to be the guys that are in the clubs, that are more time in the clubs, because if they don't have the personality, they don't have the characters, or they don't have the will or the desire to be like me among the group or even more inside the pitch, so they are not doing their job. But I think we have we have the right group of captains. After that, Kenny came just asking me for one more minute, and he told me something that I was already knowing, that he was having some part-time, let's say, with the under-20s. Okay, perfect. All the time that is not colliding with our work, so I'm very, very glad that you keep doing that work. But I also know that he wants to still playing, and so nothing have to be with that local assistant coach that we are searching for.
You mentioned that you want to find out about the club, the history and Scotland, and how have you been going about that this week? I know it's very early days, but who have you been talking to, what have you been doing?
I've been talking with myself. I've been assessing all the information as possible I can gather to prepare. Mainly, I have been concerned about our team, to be totally honest, to know our players deeply, to pass them the right amount of information, the right amount of training. Too much water may kill the plant, so we are trying to implement our methodologies, our methods, and we know that they are a little bit different, so that means that the body maybe is not ready to receive that stimulation, and so we need to have a balance between all those situations. So I don't have time to speak with no one except the family. Here we are in the same timetable, so it's good. I can call them when I'm having breakfast, they are having breakfast. Maybe when I'm having lunch, they are having lunch. When I'm having dinner, maybe they're having dinner. So it's the only person that I've been talking to along these days.
What do you know about Hamilton?
So we always make a deep search regarding to analyze the opponents. We know that Martin Cunningham played until 2015, January 2015. He was a former defender. He started like a player caretaker, something like that. And we know also they are in the 11th position with 24 points now. And the way we analyze the opponents, so as the department here used to analyze the opponents, you try to analyze them in a specific scenario or a specific content in order for you to understand or try to understand what they want when they are going to face you. So against the top 4 teams, the only one that didn't play with 5 on the back was against us. So we expect more or less the same. We know that they lost 4 of the last 5 matches, but they play all those matches away. They win against Aberdeen. And we also know that the most chances or scoring chances that they have is by a counter-attack or an offensive transition, so as from the set pieces. We know that Ali Crawford is a very good player. I watch a couple of games and it seems a good player and taking good decisions and making the difference. Bingman is also the target player up in front, so he can challenge down us, especially on those transitions. And Dougie Himrim is also a player to have in consideration. So I do believe that they came in this game not thinking about what happened in the cup game, but especially because I think that's some sort of connection regarding to what happened on the first round. I mean, they play Ibrox, the match they won. Okay, it was one return from Rangers to the Scottish Premier League, and now is not a one return, but it's a sort of change. So maybe mindset is not on the last game, but is on the first game. So that's roughly what we are expecting.
You enjoying the weather?
Weather is the weather. Sometimes a little bit cold, other times not that cold, but I don't like the wind, so let's settle up, calm down sometimes.
Pedro, it's interesting to listen to you. You're very thorough in what you've just said there about Hamilton. Is this what's going to make you a success here, your attention to detail?
I'm detail-oriented, yes, I'm detail-oriented. But I'm the type of guy that like to set up the metrics in order to not to look everywhere, but to look to the points that for me are the most important points. And after that, from those points, I can take the details out. So that's the way I work. Like fishing, okay, you have the net, so the small ones go, and you just stay with the big ones. So that's the way I'm trying to do it.